Hi everyone, I'm Jackie. I'm going to lead you through a seated stretch today. So you need a chair, and I want you to just take this opportunity to connect with your breath, release the tension in your body, and enjoy this flow. So I want you to sit close to the edge of your chair, feet solid on the floor. They can be together, they can be hip distance apart, whatever feels comfortable for your body. And then allow your arms to just rest at your side, and I want you to lift your chest and draw your belly button in towards your spine. We're going to start with a few deep breaths. I want you to take a deep breath in and look up towards the ceiling. And then as your arms float down, exhale. Again, deep breath. Scoop the palms towards the ceiling and see if you can lift a little taller, and then softly allow the arms to float back down. And then another deep breath in and a full exhale. So holding onto your chair, I want you to lift your arm up and give me a side body stretch, opening up the rib cage, lifting away from the hip. Relax your shoulder towards the floor. You can even turn the palm towards the floor and look up into the elbow crease. Big deep breath in, big exhale out. Big deep breath in. And as you exhale, let the arm float down, straighten up your spine. Let's try that on the other side. Inhale, arm goes up. And see if you can get a little height here before you lean over to the side. Deep breath, expanding the rib cage, looking up into the elbow, softening the hand. Breathe in and breathe out as you allow the arm to float down. So again, this time take both arms up, and I want you to grab right below the wrist and lift up out of the rib cage one more time and lean. Soften the muscles in your face. Allow your shoulders to relax down your back, keeping the heart lifted. Send your breath all the way down into the bottom of your rib cage. And then exhale. And trying that on the other side. Inhale. Grab below the wrist. Exhale. If you struggle with shoulder mobility, you can bend your elbow and place your hand behind your head. And let it go. So we're going to do some forward flexion. I want you to separate your feet just slightly if they aren't already. Take a deep breath in, arms come up. Really pull the bottom ribs away from the hips. And exhale, come on down and just lean forward. Again, lift up. And exhale, float down. And again, breathe in. And then exhale. One more time, I'm going to have you stop at the top. And I want you to look up and reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. Nice tall spine. And then exhale, let your arms come back down to your sides. So roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. Exaggerating your shoulder shrug. This is where you might keep a lot of tension in your traps and in your shoulders, in your neck. Let it go. And then reverse direction, bring the shoulders up. You can bend the elbows a little bit if that feels good for you, or keep them a little bit more straight. Good. So sitting forward on the front of your chair, take your arm across and push down towards the shoulder, lift the heart center, and take a deep breath. So we're stretching through the shoulder, the tricep, part of the upper back. You want to make sure you're always breathing deeply down to the base of your lungs. And then go ahead and bring the arm up towards the ceiling. Reach in between your shoulder blades and lift. Now I want you to look up just a little bit to increase the extension through the shoulder and the tricep. And bring your gaze forward, shake it down. On the other side, arm comes across, press the shoulder down away from your jawline. Palm is facing the back of the room. And then bring your arm up towards the ceiling. Stay below the elbow joint. Stack your vertebrae, and now look up. Increasing the range of motion for the stretch. And then bring your gaze back to center and allow the arms to shake it out. Beautiful. Both arms come up. Breathe in. Now we're going to rotate our torso, turning and then taking the hands to the outer edge of your thigh. Lift your heart. Press your shoulder blades down. If you can, look back over the shoulder. A little bit of a spinal twist. Soften your gaze. And release. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, arms come down. Reversing direction. Heart comes up. You can even use the chair for a little additional leverage for your twist. And let it go. Inhale, arms come up. Bring your hands to heart center, and I'm going to have you squeeze your knees together, bringing the inner thighs together, up and over the outside of your thigh, and twist. Drawing the navel in towards your spine, pressing the palms together. See if you could open up the fingers and press the heel of the hands together to increase the rotation. Stay here for 3 cycles of breath. Releasing that, lifting the heart center, keeping your hands clasped together, and rotate to the opposite side, pressing into the palm of the hand, navel draws towards spine. And then release, back to center, allow your arms to float down, taking your arm up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring our ear to our shoulder. Allow your opposite hand to just dangle. You're going to feel the stretch. Allow for some more space between your jawline and your shoulder. Checking in with your chest. You want to lift your chest, making sure the spine is nice and straight. You don't have to put very much pressure at all on the head. It's just to increase the space between your jaw and your shoulder. Let your arm float back down. Take an inhale as you exhale, bring your head back up to neutral. Let's just release the shoulders once or twice with a shoulder shrug. And now taking it to the opposite side. Ear to shoulder, spine is straight. Try not to lean to the side. Let your arm dangle. I don't know about you, but that's where I keep a lot of my tension in my neck, especially while working on the computer or sitting at my desk. Release the hand. Come back up. A couple more shoulder shrugs. Good. So let's move into the lower body. So I want you to make sure that you're maybe about 1 inch or 2 back on the front of your chair, but still towards the front part of your seat of your chair. Take your leg forward and flex your foot for me, slight bend in your knee. Lift up, kind of creating some more space between the discs in your back. And then with your navel drawn in, I want you to lean over as far as you feel comfortable. This is for your hamstring or the back of the leg. You want to keep your neck in a neutral position, and then take some deep breaths into the belly of the hamstring. If your hams are super tight, you might not be able to come very far, but just work on lengthening the back of the leg, relaxing your shoulder. If you want to go a little deeper, you can take your arm, reach for the toe, add a little bit of flexion for your foot. And just listen to the sound of my voice. Try not to look at the screen, look down towards your foot. Release your hand, take an inhale, and as you exhale, come back up to neutral. Bring the foot back in, let's switch sides. Flex the foot, bend the knee slightly, lifting up, hinge from your hips, come on down. See if you can reach your crown of your head towards the front of the room. Just like my neck, this is where I keep a lot of my tension in the back of my legs. And release the hand down to the toe if you like. Kind of shake the legs out a little bit. We're going to go into the glutes. This might not be accessible for some of you, but that's okay. Just continue with maybe another hamstring stretch. But sit up nice and tall and try and follow along. Cross the ankle over. Tight hips, this will tend to come up, but that's okay. If you want to just sit here and just apply a little bit of tension to the knee, trying to open up the hip. This is one of my favorite stretches in the chair. So place your hands at your side, your knee down as far as can be almost parallel to the ground. Lift up with your chest and then exhale forward. Ooh. Again, you might not have much range of motion, but go until you feel the stretch and then breathe into it. Lifting up. And then crossing the foot, a little shake. And then let's do the other side. Crossing over. Notice I'm a little tighter on this side than the other side. Pressing into the chair, straightening up your spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold forward. And then come on up, crown of the head, and release the foot. Beautiful. So let's switch to the upper body a little bit. Make sure you're grounded on your chair. Take your arms up, thumbs up, and then rotate the thumbs down. We'll stretch through the bicep. Thumbs up, and thumbs down. 2 more times, thumbs up, and thumbs down. Float back down. Take your arm behind your back, reach for the opposite hip, and kind of take a hold of it with the opposite hand. Roll your shoulder up, back, and down. And as if my hand was here, pressing your shoulder gently backwards, it's going to give you a stretch through the shoulder. You can even play with the head a little bit, dropping your ear side to side, or just holding static on one side. And then before we move on to the opposite side, bring your head back to neutral, take the arm to the opposite hip, press the shoulder down and back. You play with the head again. And release. We're going to do a stretch for the upper back. Shake the arms out. Take your hands, turn them so the palms face each other. Think about opening up your shoulder blades in the back and spreading them nice and wide. As you draw your navel in, you're going to tuck your chin and stretch the upper back. And then come back forward. And then just to reverse that, take your hands to the back of your chair. Roll your shoulders back and down, opening up the heart. See if you can draw your elbows towards each other. This is another one of my faves. And then relax. Take your fingertips, place them towards the floor. And then reverse that. On the other side. And let it go. We're almost done, so I want you to just take one foot to the opposite side, and you're going to take your foot coming to the ball of your foot in the back. Rotate your hips towards towards a diagonal direction, diagonally, and you're going to hold on to the chair. This is going to stretch through your hip flexor and down your quad. You want a slight bend in the knee. You can hold on to the chair, you can hold on to your hip. If you want to go a little further in the stretch, you can take your arm up and take your gaze up. Nice stretch, opening up through the hip. Make sure you're towards the front of your chair. Toe digs into the ball of the foot. You're gonna push your hips forward and then take the arm up. And release. Releasing the legs. And this is my last stretch for you today. I'm going to actually ask you to get up out of the chair, and I'm going to turn my chair sideways so you can see me. So it doesn't matter the height of the back of your chair. I want you to step your feet so your feet are hip distance, actually larger than hip distance, pretty wide, but your toes are tracking forward. You can hold on to here or wherever you're comfortable, but I want you to step back so you have depth to lean forward, keeping your ears between your biceps. And it's almost as if someone had their hands on your hips drawing you back. So you're creating length through the spine, the hamstrings are stretching, your shoulders are pressing down towards the floor, your belly button is engaged. And just stay here for a couple cycles of breath. Nice job. Just soften through the knees, lift your head first, kind of get your bearings, and then come on up. And then walk towards your chair. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this stretch.